All right. Good afternoon, boys and girls. It's kind of an odd time for this, but I took advantage of some situations around my house so that I could redo this. Friday night, I aired the second episode off the rail and did some stuff and played some interviews and had some technical issues, and I'm not quite sure exactly what they were, which caused the video to be kind of messed up. And one of the interviews completely non-existent, a lot of the audio kind of back and forth, and I really wanted you guys to see those, so I'm going to go ahead and redo those. Most of the show was pretty much the interviews and talking about things that I wanted to do. So we're going to just kind of touch base on some of those things again, and then I'm going to get right into the interviews to let you guys see those again because they were really good. You enjoy my bright yellow shirt there. Couple announcements real quick. First off, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy free live streaming pool, or in this case, pool news and more. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, click on the bell, turn on your notifications, check out the links in the description, and swing by the Facebook page and give that a like if you haven't already. Couple announcements, and you'll see them going by in the ticker as we come back to the screen in between the interviews. But obviously, right now there's a lot of really weird things going on. A lot of our venues are in tight spots, and in the near future, we'll be announcing some ideas we have to try to help them out and show them how much we appreciate everything they've done for us, allowing us to have tournaments and leagues and things in their venues, and show them how much we really appreciate that and how much we'd like to continue to see them around after all this is over. So keep an eye on the Facebook page and future Off the Rail episodes. And of course, obviously, a lot of leagues are either postponed or have been canceled, and a lot of tournaments have been postponed or canceled. If you would like me to share any of that information off the episode of Off the Rail, make sure you get a hold of me. You can get a hold of us on the Facebook page, or text me, or give me a call. Most of you have probably already heard, and it'll kind of get touched on. This interview, the one interview, is a week or two old, so some of the information is a little out of date, but excuse me. The Sterling Rock Falls Men's League has been canceled, and they recently announced they canceled their banquet, and they are in the process of getting all of your league money taken care of so they can get it to you. So just keep an eye on their Facebook page and website, and they will let you know what's going on with that. TNT double leagues in both cities, Rock Falls and Dixon, are both currently postponed at the moment until we can figure out when we can get going again. Hopefully things settle down soon and we can get back soon. If it goes on much longer, we will let you know what our plan is for that. So just make sure you check out the TNT Facebook page and, of course, the TNT League group. And they also recently, ACS announced that they have canceled the Omega Billiards 2020 championships in Las Vegas. You may want to check that the venues that you had maybe booked for your stays and things like that for refunds and cancellations and stuff like that. ACS sent out an email about that. So if you didn't get that, you may want to check the ACS site, AmericanCueSports.org, for more information on that as far as your refunds and what they'll be doing for teams that took advantage of championship perks and things like that. I know that they did mention that they would be honoring those again in 2021, but they're requesting that you make sure you play in a league season next year, a sanctioned league season next year to qualify for that, as you normally would, just to keep everything on the up and up. The Val Saturday League is currently postponed. I haven't seen anything different yet for it, but if I do hear any more, I will let you know. I know information floats around on that on Facebook on there. I'm just not exactly sure if there's a central place for it, but if I hear more, I will let you know for sure. So, like I mentioned before, I'm always looking to interview players, especially in this, with all this free time that a lot of us have. I've been looking to sit down and do some interviews with players, find out what made them a pool player, how they get into it, just kind of get to know our local players and our tournament directors and our operators. And I would absolutely love to talk to some of our venue owners um, so that we can get to know them a little better, find out exactly what they're doing to try to keep things going in this time of need, and highlight them and show you guys what they have to offer, and just show how much we appreciate what they're doing. So if you're a player that would like to be interviewed and like to share your story, definitely get a hold of me. If you are an operator or director, get a hold of me. It's fun for players to get to know you and understand your process. Maybe it would help them get through your leagues and tournaments a little more. So get a hold of me and we'll definitely can set something up. And like I said, venue owners would definitely love to hear from you, especially ones that have allowed TNT to host an event at your venue. If you have allowed TNT to come through your venue and do a tournament or a league or anything like that, or sponsored a team or anything like that, and you are doing everything you can to stay open and serve. However, right now during all this, get a hold of me. Absolutely free of charge. We will do something to put together to help get your name out there and show everybody what's going on and show them how awesome you are. So we're going to start off the interviews with a league operator. This one I really want to talk to him because he does something that I really enjoy. He works with juniors out at Sharkies, and obviously right now things are kind of rough, so they are obviously postponed a little bit too. But I really admire the fact that he's helping bring new players into the sport, teaching kids how to do things. So with let's not dilly-dally around. We'll get right into this and check it out. I sat down for a little bit and talked to Nate Kennis. And talk to him about his APA Junior League. Sorry about that. I was kind of looking at something. And remember, I do these, like most people, I'm doing a lot of stuff from home, so you might get to hear my puppies offering their opinion at one point during the video, so you have to forgive that. So take a few minutes, check this out. This is Nate Kennis talking about his experience running the QCA APA Juniors League. Hey, TNT Off the Rail. We're sitting here hanging out with Nate Kennis. Nate, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
All good. Tell everybody where you're from, Nate.
From Bettendorf, Iowa.
Bettendorf, Iowa. And I know you run leagues, but do you run tournaments as well, or?
Yeah, we have juniors tournaments at Sharkies. Usually at the end of their sessions, we run a 12-week session.
Okay. And so how long have you been doing that? How long have you been running leagues and stuff?
It's been about 11 years now for the juniors program.
And so you run do you do anything besides the junior leagues, or?
No, just the juniors. I
Okay.
just run the juniors.
And you said you do that out of Sharkies, and what age groups do you work with in that?
The youngest age is 7 years old up to 18. We run the APA format, so they kind of dictate the age restrictions for me.
So that kind of answers my next one. It is a sanction for the kids.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm sorry. You said you've been doing it for how long?
11 years.
11 years. Okay. I had two numbers stuck in my head. I didn't want to say the wrong one. So out of the 11 years you've been doing that, how many kids you think you've seen?
Oh my goodness. There's at one time I had probably 30 kids in my league at one time, and down to 10. Yeah, God, it's been hundreds. I mean, Blake Baker is one of my first. So.
There you go, dating everything a little bit. And
Yep.
So obviously being a sanctioned APA thing, how much of it is, do you just throw the kids into it, the playing situation, or, I mean, obviously they're going to come in there with all kinds of different skill levels. Do you find does it work instructionally? I mean, I know APA kind of does that a little bit, but I mean, with the junior side of it, do you find yourself doing more kind of, like an instructional thing where you're helping some of the kids who might come into it with, not very much knowledge of the game?
Yeah. Usually the kids that have never played before, I work with them for a couple weeks until they get the hang of it. And it's just mainly getting their bridge and their stroke down. Then I kind of let the kids themselves teach each other because I've learned from my kids that they don't listen to adults.
Oh, no.
So, so I put them into teams and I let the captains. We have unlimited timeouts in our league, so the captains can help the juniors at any time during their match. And then they just play a team event and they get points and patches and awards and all kinds of stuff.
That was my next question was the format, and it's the teams. I'm assuming are kind of like they're like usually four person teams.
It's however many I have show up. We have four teams. I got it set up for four teams. So if I have 20 kids show up, then everybody, that would be five, or 25 kids show up. Then there's five matches. It's 5-on-5 teams.
Okay.
If I only have three show up, then it's a 3-on-3 type thing. And then if a team's short, then we double play. One of the kids get to double play decided by the captain of the team.
Okay. So, kind of jump around a little bit here with everything that's going on right now, and being locked down and everything like that. Did you have a league in progress, or were you getting ready to start one?
We had just had our banquet 2 weeks before Sharkies, and every place shut down. So we were probably 2 weeks into our new session. Yeah, and this is the session where everybody qualifies for St. Louis, the APA Junior Nationals. So we have to get our matches in to get qualified for that. So.
And I kind of been trying my best to keep up with a lot of these different larger events to see if they've made announcements, and that have they made any mention about what they're going to do with the St. Louis one?
No, they haven't mentioned anything about any of the junior nationals yet. They're all still on schedule.
Okay. And when is the St. Louis one supposed to be?
July 9th, I think. It starts on that Thursday and then goes all the way till Sunday.
And you said you guys are 2 weeks into the session. How many weeks did they have to how many weeks did they have to play to be qualified?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. So there's still time for them to get it done then. If we get back soon.
Yeah. And plus the kids get double play too, so they can those matches count also.
And are they all strictly 8-ball, or do they play 9-ball as well?
It's 9-ball. It's each ball's worth 1 point. 9 balls worth 2.
Okay. And what was I going to ask? I'm assuming Sam probably worked his way through that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been in it since he was 8 years old.
I was waiting to see if I could hear him giggle in the background there. So how many in 1 year? How many sessions do you run? You made mention you just finished one up a couple weeks into this. So how many sessions do you usually get in a year?
3. Usually get in 3 with with all the holidays and parades. If there's a parade, we usually don't do it on those weekends, or the holiday weekends we don't have them. But then we always have a week off after when the session's over too.
So. That was my next question. Was how many? You mentioned the banquet, and then you were into your next session. So I was kind of wondering how much time in between there, and I guess so. And if someone was gonna want to try to find information about this, like online or anything, do you guys have a website or a Facebook page or anything that anybody could look up?
Yeah, it's Quad City APA Juniors, QCA APA Juniors on Facebook. That's where we post if we're having juniors that week, if the snow is bad or whatever. Sometimes they'll cancel it. But yeah, QCA Juniors.
All right, we'll get that link put up on there. It'll float around there somewhere.
Okay.
What was my next question? So this is something I ask a lot of operators. If you had to describe to players, and maybe even any of the kids that might be watching that played for you, if you had to describe to them your process of what goes on before and after the kids show up to play, and obviously with the kids, it's they show up and it's hit the balls around, do their thing, they go home, it's all over with, and I don't sometimes, obviously even with ourselves when we play pool, a lot of us don't. We take for granted what goes on before and after the league. There's a
Hmm.
lot more to it. So if you had to describe it to your kids, how would you do that?
Well, we say league starts at 11. That then from 11 to 11:30, just kind of playtime, get them to warm up on the pool tables. Then once the matches start, Sharkies gives us an extra table, so the kids that aren't playing their match or keeping score, they can go to that extra table and just have fun over there and play each other. Um, so the first half hour is just kind of messing around, just having fun, and then the match starts, and then Sharkies also allows the kids to stay on the tables for as long as they want, unless there's a big tournament coming in. So.
So, and I'm assuming with the APA, with the association with the APA, the kids are learning not only the game itself, but they're learning the scoring system. Because for those who don't know, APA has a pretty structured scoring system, score sheets, and things like that. I'm assuming do the kids with the juniors league, do they do it's a strictly paper thing? Are they able to use any of the APAs? I know they've been working on an app for people to score, and I don't know. I'm sure I kind of got lost a little bit with everything that was going on, whether they actually got it out and working yet.
I don't think it's released yet, but right now the kids have to keep their own score. When they go down to junior nationals, they don't give anybody scorekeepers, so they have to keep their own score throughout the whole tournament.
So that actually works out good for them being able to know how to do it. Now I'm only slightly familiar with APA. I mean I read into it enough to know that for when I do tournaments here and there, I know enough to run a tournament APA rule wise. But as far as the scoring, if you just how would you describe it quickly to someone, kind of how it works?
Uh, they keep it's 1 point per ball, 2 points for the 9 ball. They also keep track of innings, and that's kind of what we use to create your skill levels. They keep track of safeties, and points and innings, and then you get your skill level from that.
So what is in your junior leagues? I mean, what's a good average skill level of most of those kids? And do the skill levels are pretty much the same all the way across the board, junior or do they divide it up between junior? Like is a junior level different than an adult level?
No, that's all the same. If one of our kids, if Sam, my son, plays in the adult league, he's still a 9 in the adult league. Even he's also a 9 in the juniors too.
So what
And
we know Sam's amazing. So what's an average player in your league usually skill level wise?
about a 4, 3 or 4. Yeah.
So so you mentioned Blake, and we know Sam's gone through it. How about, and I'm assuming Timmy played.
Timmy played for a little bit. We've had Tyler Howell, River Burke, Josh Franklin, um, Hayden Hill, who won APA Junior Nationals in the white tier 1 year. River Burke, I think, won it twice. Cameron Fuller, Justin Nichols, um, AJ Howell. Been quite a few kids have went through there. Alec Hanks, Alec Hanks when I first started the junior nationals. He was one of the first kids, and he turns 18 this year. So he's my first one and my last one. This will be his last year this year.
Oh, so what's it like seeing them go on and do good stuff? I mean, do a lot of them kind of rag on you? They beat you up on the pool table a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. There's so much trash talking with these kids. It's and I take a beating because they don't think I know anything. And yeah, then they start listening to me and they start going up on their skill levels. So yeah, but they all beat me though.
They, oh, well, then you must be doing something right. So
Right?
that's a plus. So kind of back and forth. How does all this affect? I mean, with what's going on with the pandemic, we were talking about having just enough time to be able to get the rest of their weeks in for this next session for St. Louis. Uh, will this affect it? Will if it goes on too much farther, how will that affect it? I mean, if they can't get their weeks in, but they still end up somehow playing the St. Louis thing, will they just will it be all for naught for them, or?
I'm not quite sure what the national office is going to say about the tournament. I mean, if the tournament's still going, it's actually we could take the weeks that have been played earlier this year, like around Christmas or New Year's, in that last session, and kind of count those too. So it's kind of up to the national APA office what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, that was weird. What was my? I have another question. Where'd my paper go? Probably heard my dog's getting a little crazy in there. They want to play pool as bad as I do. So if we took all your kids, past, present, and even some maybe future kids down the road, what would be something that you'd like to tell them? What kind of general wisdom would you like to pass on to them?
Oh, just we have fun during the matches. We take it serious. We have fun. It's a great sport. It's one of my greatest things that I like about this is when a lot of the kids go to football games and that, and you have Bettendorf playing Davenport. Well, in our juniors league, we don't divide you up, Bettendorf and Davenport. They all know each other. So when they go to these football events or two schools playing each other in another event, basketball or whatever, they can kind of hang out together. And they hang out on the weekends together. And when I used to have a bigger crowd, they would all come at the Sharkies in the same time. I could walk into league night and see all my juniors playing on one table. It carries over to everybody, and we get really close, and it's a really good bond that we have in our juniors program.
So, provided things get going again, when would your next session start?
We play every Saturday. I'm there, and you don't have to start at the beginning of the session. You can start the last week before the session. We don't say you have to start at week one. I'm there every Saturday with the kids, unless Sam's in a tournament and we're traveling to one of those. But then I have somebody else watch it for me. But the kids can come in and play anytime.
So it's kind of just an ongoing thing. There's always some kind of junior thing going on Saturday, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I have another question. What are some key things you think are really important for a good league, especially with the junior league? I mean, there's not a lot of differences between a junior and an adult league, but obviously keeping the attention of kids sometimes is, and with pool, I think it might be a little different than some other sports just because of the type of sport it is, I guess. But what are some key things you think are important to a good junior league, good junior program?
Having fun. I mean, the kids want to play. I remember growing up, I only wanted to play, but I couldn't find any adults to play with. The adults never took the kids seriously. They just want to play and have fun. If you got 5 minutes to spend with a kid, they'll increase their game just in that 5 minutes because they're like sponges. They take everything in.
Absolutely, yeah. So that I'm assuming along with the scoring and the skills and things like that with the game, I'm assuming that you guys probably teach a little bit of the etiquette of the room, like you made mention sometimes it's really hard to get an adult to sit down and play a game with a kid seriously. Most of the time it's keeping them busy or something like that. And some the kids that really want to play, they're like you said, they're wanting to soak up that information. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm all out of questions unless you have something that you'd like to add to it. Like I said, that link will be up there so people can find it. We've been talking to Nate Kennis every Saturday at Sharkies. Once things get going again, you can find him and his junior program up there. It's been awesome talking to Nate. Maybe we'll get to talk to you again soon. I'm hoping that once things get a little more normal, I guess for lack of a better word, that maybe we can come up and check out a little portion of that thing. TNT can come up and check out some of the junior program you got going on up there. If you don't have anything else, I'm going to let you. I know you're one of the few people that has a table and can still play right now. So I'm gonna let you to that, and at some point we might bother Sam to get a little better interview. Um, but yeah, unless you have anything else, I really appreciate the time and look forward to talking to you again.
Sounds good. Thank you
All right.
very much. Thanks for everything you guys do too. We enjoy watching your matches.
Oh, we appreciate that. You have a great day. It's been TNT off the rail talking to Nate Kennis. We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Bye.
That was a pretty good interview with Nate Kennis talking about his junior program. Um, like Beard said, a lot of people are in a tight spot with their leagues and stuff like that, kind of wondering what's going to happen. A lot of things kind of floating around in limbo. You never know what's going to go down. It's just trying to figure out if things are ever going to get back to some kind of normal. How deep into things will go. We're getting to the point here now where there are summer leagues that are supposed to be getting ready to start, and so that puts questions into how leagues are postponed. How far how much longer those might get put off. Will they end up getting canceled? Will the will the junior leagues get going again? Will the summer leagues get going? How far off will they be behind? What kind of things will they have to do to accommodate for all the things that have been going on? So it's a weird situation right now, and it's really hard for everybody, and it's gonna take a lot of doing to get things to work the way we want them to. So they're really gonna have to. We're all gonna have to work together and and help each other out, and unfortunately we're probably gonna have to make some concessions, and we might have to give up some stuff here and there, and there might be some things that just never get back to complete normal. So take a quick second. This episode is brought to you again by CBM Construction. Contact Bill at CBM today for your new construction, remodeling, and HVAC needs. Fair and honest prices with a 20% first-time discount. Proudly serving Whiteside, Lee, Bureau, Putnam, and LaSalle counties. You can get a hold of him at 815-716-6727 or email him there, and you can also check out his Facebook page. There's the information there. We appreciate Bill and everyone that helps TNT do what we do, to bring you guys the streams that we bring, and of course down the road the episodes of Off the Rail that we'll end up doing. So we really appreciate that. If you're interested in getting your name out there, get a hold of us. Give us a call, 833-868-7665, or stop by the Facebook page. So we're going to keep going. Like I said, I'm rebroadcasting the Friday episode of Off the Rail because we had some issues. I'm not sure what exactly happened. It caused the video to get all messed up, and it was really short. I was trying to figure out why it wasn't all on the Facebook page. Audio got jumped around, and the interview I'm about to show you got completely missed, and you heard bits and pieces of it. So I just really wanted these guys to get their time. I wanted to be able to share these interviews with you because they sat down and took the time to sit and talk to us, and so I want to share their story. So we're going to get right back into that. Remember, if you're an operator, director, or player that wants to share your story, get a hold of us. And of course, obviously, venue owners definitely want to talk to you guys. I got some really cool ideas to help you show everybody what's going on and what you're doing to keep things going in this strange time. So this next interview is a couple of the guys from the You Got Action crew, Timmy Bly and Sam Henderson. They took a few minutes to answer some questions we had posted on the TNT page, because if you don't want to be interviewed, you could make a video like this. On TNT page, there's some questions that I laid out to have answered, and Sam's mom grabbed the camera, cornered the boys, and asked them some stuff. Asked them to answer some questions for us. So take a second to check this out. It's a pretty good little interview, and these guys got some unique answers. It was a ton of fun to watch. So check this out. We'll be right back.
All right, guys. These are questions from TNT tournaments. First question. What is your name?
Go ahead.
Sam.
Scott. Timmy.
Where are you from?
Here. In the Quad Cities.
Decatur, Illinois.
Boring. What got you into pool? Girls.
The money. No, I'm just playing. My parents.
My parents.
Okay. Timmy, how long have you been shooting?
How old am I again?
You're 21.
Now 17 years, I think, now. I started when I was 4.
Okay. Sam?
5 years.
And how old are you?
13.
So, what games do you shoot? 8 ball, 9 ball, 10?
Everything but straight pool.
Same here.
Okay. Are you guys the same person or what?
Well, actually, I don't shoot snooker either.
Okay. If you had to pick a favorite out of all those, which one would it be?
Shane Van Boning.
I think it meant which game.
Oh.
Which game is your favorite?
Oh, 8 ball or 9 ball?
Mine is 9 ball or 1 pocket.
Okay. What do you shoot the most of? Do you shoot most of leagues, tournaments, or action?
Tournaments.
Mine's tournaments or action.
Okay. What leagues do you guys play in?
APA and ACS.
And VNEA.
Well, we haven't started that yet, but
But we still play it.
we're still playing it, yeah. We also won it.
You what?
We also won it.
Win it? Win it all?
Quad Cities represents.
If you had to describe it to someone who was wanting to join a league, how would you describe league play?
Look up Skyward.
I think Timmy likes Sky.
Describe Sky Woodward. No, league play.
It's a way to stay on stroke and have fun.
Yes.
That's what I think of it. It's just practice.
It's practice. That's the way I see it. It's practice, but sometimes it can get competitive.
Okay. Do you think that there's a different mindset between the different disciplines?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Explain.
I mean, I go to league and I'll mess around, but if I'm going to a tournament...
I disagree. I've seen you lose at league before, and you are not
Okay,
happy.
I still don't like to lose, but...
It means, is there a difference in the way you think when you're playing in a tournament
Mindset.
versus the way you think when
Yes,
you're playing
yes,
in a league?
Yes.
Well, what's the difference?
League.
Tournament strictly beast mode.
Well, tournaments, like, you're way more competitive, and
So basically what Timmy just said.
basically.
Okay, good. Have you ever played in a large sanctioned state or national event?
No!
What?
This is our first day!
Yeah,
Where have you played?
Vegas, actually.
Everywhere.
Vegas. What'd you do in Vegas?
Played in a tournament that was ran by John Lewis, and
Did they let you walk through the casinos?
yes, they did.
Oh, imagine that.
Hey, I get you. I'm good. In the state tournaments, you know that we win almost every year. Or we get top 3.
Oh,
Maybe
careful.
second. Mainly
It's
second.
3rd and higher.
Third and low.
Same thing.
Okay, so that answered questions 11, 12, and 13 with what tournament and how did you do?
Well,
Would you recommend the experience to other players that haven't played in those tournaments?
well, for the Vegas one, I would say don't go to it because the state tournament pays more, and the experience at Vegas isn't that good because refs down there. And
You had one bad experience with a ref.
no, I had a couple.
The Vegas experience is fun, though.
No.
Did you have fun in Vegas?
No,
Did you see
sorry.
some crazy things on the Vegas Strip and the
I'm
Fremont?
definitely going to have more fun next year.
Okay. Let's see. Timmy, describe your very first tournament.
I don't know. I don't remember.
You were 4?
Yeah, probably 4 or 5.
Sam, Do you remember your first tournament? I do.
I was 8 years old.
Yep. And what tournament was it?
It was a mini APA junior tournament.
Oh.
It was at Leagues.
Oh.
And I got 3rd place.
I didn't think that's where he was going with that one.
I didn't either.
Josh Franklin won or the one I beat him.
Okay. Last question. Timmy.
No.
Did you say no?
Why do I go first?
Okay, Sam.
What?
Your favorite moment in pool?
When I win.
When always when you win? You can't think of one moment in time? One, like the Kelly Clarkson song? Moment in time.
Probably was it in Peoria? Racks on the Rocks.
Yeah?
Shot lights out. Best I've ever played.
Oh, when TV Mike was there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chris Robinson,
Shut up.
mine is either probably winning junior nationals or winning state tournaments with the boys.
Yeah, junior nationals was huge too.
Well,
First, second,
thank you for listening to our interview. We'll be back.
Timmy, what's your shirt say?
You got action, boy.
Oh.
All day, any day.
Hashtag
Me
you got
and Sam
action.
We're looking for doubles action.
Doubles action.
We're out here hitting balls, practicing.
Okay.
Hit us up, TNT tournaments. Hit us up.
You can stream it anytime.
Those kids crack me up. You heard them. They're looking for double actions. Hey, Nate, how you doing? They're, yeah, I like those kids. Sam and Timmy's always looking to play. They're both always looking to play. So they are looking for some doubles action. Hopefully we'll be able to get back to that soon and be able to get out and stream a match with them. That'll be a lot of fun. Don't forget, you can be part of the show anytime it's on. Jump in the YouTube chat box, or while we're on Facebook, you can jump in there too, and I'll hopefully remember to switch over and see your stuff. I can't reply to you in the chat box, but I can read it and reply to you. And of course, you can always text us as well. That'll get to us nice and quick. I'm always looking for players to interview, talk to, tournament directors, league operators, venue owners. I really want to talk to some of you to share your stories and share what you're doing and how you're dealing with this whole situation. So get a hold of me, text me, hit me out on Facebook. I really want to share your story with people. So get a hold of me and let's tell people your story. Let them know what's going on. I got one more interview that I want to share with you. This one I think might have made it all the way through on the show. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, we had some issue where things just didn't work out quite like they were supposed to. And it messed everything up. But that last interview you just saw, that was one of the ones that didn't make it, and I really wanted people to see that because that was, like I said, those kids are really cool, and I really enjoy sharing their stuff. Some of you saw a couple of our earlier streams on a couple of fight nights. I think I may have shared it. I may have shared a shot that Timmy had sent to us. It was a nice shot, and he shared with us, and I'll probably end up showing it again just because, I like showing cool pool shots. So if you've got one you caught on tape and want to share it with people, get a hold of us, and give you the best way to get it to us so we can share it on the Off the Rails show. Right now, the plan is to air an episode every Friday with the way things are going and as much free time as a lot of us seem to have. I may end up throwing an extra one in during the week just for any maybe special announcements, or if I start gathering more interviews and want to get them out and share them with you guys, I may do an extra one during the week. But right now, the main plan is to do a Friday night. It's usually around 8 or 9 o'clock, and it'll stay that way until we get back to, I say, normal, when hopefully we'll be back out doing tournaments and things like that, and then obviously that schedule will change just a little bit. So like I said, hit us up on Facebook, give us a call, or text us 833-868-7665, or check us out on Facebook page or the website. All the information is all over the place. It's pretty easy to find us. So I got one last interview that I want to share with you. And like I said, they did this one a couple weeks ago, so some of this information is a little outdated. We talked about at the end of it. We talked about they were still in the process of making some decisions, and I'll touch on that more when I get back after we see it. I sat down and talked with Bob Steinhagen from the Sterling Rock Falls Men's League. Take a minute and check this out. I'll be back. All right, we're sitting here with Bob Steinhagen. TNT's Off the Rail. Bob, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Bob, tell the people where you're from.
I'm actually in Rock Falls, Illinois.
All right. And you are a league operator here in Rock Falls, correct?
Yes, league operator, Sterling Rock Falls Men's Pool League.
And how long have you been doing that?
Oh boy, I've probably been associated with the league for I wanted to say 15 years or better. I've been probably league president for 8 or 10, probably, maybe longer. I don't know. That's not one of the things you actually keep track of, you know.
So you kind of fell into it. It wasn't something you started?
No. I was asked to when the other president resigned. I was asked if I'd be interested in it, and it sort of just happened, you know.
Right. Who did?
Isn't that the way it always goes? We don't go through life saying, "Geez, what do I want to be when I want to grow up? I want to operate a pool league." You know, just sort of happens. You know,
the high dollar jobs. So we're going.
Yeah, the high dollar job.
So is that the only league that's the only league you operate on? Is that the Sterling Men's League?
Yeah, I was associated with the ACS Summer League for a while.
Mm-hmm. And you guys play on, if I remember correctly, Thursday night. I think you might have said that, but I was kind of spacing out looking at my paper here.
Yep, no, we're on Thursday nights.
Okay. Where was I? I lost myself. So, and mostly Sterling Rock Falls, mostly Rock Falls. There's only, one or two Sterling bars in that, correct?
That's really odd. I believe for a few years we only had like one bar in Sterling where there was a team, and for some reason or another it seems to be mostly Rock Falls bars. I don't know why that is, but you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, we're all trying to grow. So if we were going to send some people your way, try to get you some more players, or if they wanted to find some more information about you, where would they find you?
We have a website. It's SRF Pool, as in Sterling Rock Falls Pool.com, and then we have a Facebook page. And it's also Sterling Rock Falls Men's Pool League. I don't know. I should look at it, I guess. I'm not very well prepared. You caught me off guard.
Well, that's how we like you. We want people to see in your raw form. We'll throw some links up here, and everybody can check them out for you and stuff like that. And we'll do.
At least I got clothes on. You didn't catch me right out of the shower, so.
Lucky for all of us, huh, Bob?
Yeah, I know how that is.
So, Bob. A lot of people just show up to pool leagues. They just they show up, they put their money in the envelope, they put their quarters on the table, they shoot their pools, they drink their beer, and they wander off. What if you had to describe part of your process? I mean, try to describe to somebody how much actual work there is in running a league. How would you kind of describe that to somebody? I mean, for somebody who didn't know, what goes on after the pool.
I think probably the biggest thing sometimes is, and this sounds terrible, it can be babysitting, and you know that. But for the most part, as far as operating it's not real bad. At least I don't feel it is. There's a little bit of time involved in doing stats and trying to prepare for, the start of a season or at the end of the season for the banquet and everything like that. But it's you do something like this because you like the game and you want everybody to be treated fairly. It's more about the experience for the people that play in it than it is for you trying to be the dictatorship of something. It's not about me, it's about everybody else that plays in it. So I don't actually think about how much time it takes to do stats, maybe an hour every week or something like that, because we're kind of small. We only have 12 to 14 teams yearly, so it's not real bad, I guess. Is that kind of what you were looking for, sort of?
Yeah, that absolutely. So, with that being said, what are some of the key things you think are important for a good league? What kind of things do you try to give to your players? Offer those kind of things. What do you think makes up a good league for a player?
Transparency, absolutely transparency, and to be fair. Obviously you're not going to please everybody, but you have to do what's best for the league, and sometimes it involves what you may not want to do when it involves an actual true life friend, but usually they understand that, and it's the good people. If you've got good people playing in your league, then it's so much easier. Again, back to the babysitting or whatnot, so
Absolutely.
you've ran leagues before,
I know. I see, and we're going out of our way to try to shed a little light on these things, so people like I said, a lot of people see the league operator and they go, oh, that guy's rolling in my sanction fees and he's just living the high life and he can do whatever he wants. So we're trying to share the experience with them, kind of maybe give them a little behind the scenes look so they kind of know. So, and I know you shoot in your league and a couple other leagues as well. Do you find it? I kind of know my answer to this. Do you find it's easier to shoot in a league you're not running versus shooting in your own?
Yes. Unfortunately, you know how everybody plays, and because we're more of a gentleman's type league, you find yourself maybe not playing as many safeties, or what some people would say is dirty pool or something like that, because the player you're playing against, that's not his thing. Whereas if you're just another name in another league, it doesn't matter. If they don't like your play when you walk out the door, it doesn't matter, right?
Right. Yeah, you kind of, I guess I've always had this thing where I'm shooting in my league and people are looking at me. They're like, oh, this is what he wants his league to be like, or something like that. So and you're a one person show, or do you have? You mentioned you were the president of this league. Are there other people?
Yeah, we have Carlos Urrutia as the vice president, and then we have Roger Adams is in charge of the rules committee. And the rules committee basically, and I've kind of adopted the format that Teresa Lucosi has in the summer league, and that's that all the captains are part of the rules committee. So if we have something where it involves a ruling or the rules committee, then it's all the captains. It's not just I'd like to get it to where everybody's involved. It's not. Again, it's not about me. It's about what's trying to be fair for everybody, that they're all comfortable and happy with.
Right, and the only way to really do that is to involve everybody, like you said, with that transparency and bringing everybody into it. So
transparency is huge, very
absolutely.
Huge.
That's one thing that I know, and I know because that's something we've discussed before. Is that's one thing players don't always have an openly have questions, but they have questions, and when you're able to just be like, lay it out there for them, it's a lot easier on everybody. So we're finding ourselves as operators and directors, we're finding ourselves in a really strange situation right now. I know right now your league is actually in a postponed status. And I know we talked, and I don't know if you guys have made a decision, and I'll let you take care of that down the way, as far as what you're going to do going forward with this whole pandemic, scenario we've got going on right now, where everybody's kind of sitting around trying to decide when we're going to get back to doing things, and
I know.
And you guys have, if I remember correctly, right now you guys are in, like I said, you're in a postponed status. You have
Yes.
4 weeks left, 4 or 5 weeks
We
left.
have 4 weeks left, and then there's usually after the last week there's a couple of weeks of preparation for our banquet. We actually have a food style banquet, with awards, with the money handout. So I don't know. I've got to talk to Roger and Carlos and I are in good communications all the time. So I'll give them guys a call in the next day or so, and we'll decide for sure what we're going to do. I mean, I've talked to obviously you and a couple other operators because this is virgin territory. We've never had it been postponed. It's you ask everybody and everybody says, "Gee, I don't know. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?" It's.
And unfortunately, right now it's kind of out of our hands. We
do.
Yeah, right now we shy of putting a pool table out on the road, and we're kind of in a situation. So obviously, your players can keep up with everything through the website and everything, and Facebook page. You're keeping information there and letting them know what's going on.
Yes,
So you're like I said, you're at the spot now where you're postponed. There's the possibility that you guys may end up just having to call it quits, because I know you are also running into, and she's in the same boat, Teresa. Her summer league is supposed to be starting, and it'll get to a point where you guys will be bumping heads because you play on the same nights and in the same areas. So if it goes too far, you kind of have to. Almost.
Yeah, and her and I have had some discussions about, well, what happens if we carry into what is normally her time? And I don't want to take into her time, but I also don't want to shortchange our guys.
Right.
Or, as much as anything, the sponsors.
Right.
Because if there's no sponsors, then there's no guys. And obviously without the guys, then there's no league. So
right.
Again, if there's no guys, then sponsors don't. You hate to shortchange everybody.
It's a vicious circle. You can't always comes back to they can't make everybody happy, and you don't.
Yes,
it's what to do. What you do. So obviously, I mean that's this pandemic is really just it's playing heck with everybody.
More so with businesses than it is just pool players.
Absolutely, and it all ties into just a big vicious circle, because
it's a vicious circle. Exactly what I was going to say.
I know a lot of places that we rely on to do the things we do as far as our tournaments and our leagues. A lot of those places are in really tight spots right now. Some of them are doing everything that they can to try to keep things going while they so to me it's something it's actually to me it's kind of pushing me a little more to make sure I keep my players from my leagues informed and letting them know that, hey, as soon as we can, we're going back. We're gonna put butts and seats and quarters and tables there to help them get back on their feet, because a lot of these places have done so much for all of us for years and years and years. I mean, like you said, your league's been going for 15 plus years, and a lot of these places have.
Oh, it's been around. I've been playing in it for probably 20, and I want to say it's probably been around for 35 years at least, maybe.
And think of all the things. Yeah, think of all the things that these places have done for us. For all of us that shoot pools. So. Well, I only have maybe one or two more questions for you, Bob. Well, if you had to, I guess if you were standing up in front of a room full of all your past, present, and even maybe future players for your league, what's something you'd like to say to them?
Boy, now that's a tough question to answer.
I like to do it that way. I like to keep them.
That's an incredible question. That's an incredible question to answer. Gee, I don't know. I think sportsmanship's the most important thing. Sportsmanship and camaraderie. And you can not like somebody when they're not on the pool table, but we should have respect with each other while we're playing. That's probably one of the most important things. You know, we're all regular people, and we put our, like the old saying, we put our pants on one leg at a time. So we should, you know, just respect and sportsmanship's the most important thing.
Don't you know what? For an incredible question, that was an incredible answer, Bob.
Well, thanks.
We've been hanging out with Bob Steinhagen from the Sterling Rock Falls Men's League. You guys play on Thursday nights in Rock Falls and a couple in Sterling. We'll put up some links if they're not already up there, and we'll put some links in the description of the video. Of course, you can always find links on the TNT page as well. Bob and his crew will make a decision here shortly as far as what's going to happen with the rest of their season. We hope that you and everybody else that's itching to play some pool is going to get back to it real soon. I know you probably do, as much as I'm missing the heck out of it. There's a lot of things I can't wait to get back to doing. I really appreciate you taking some time hanging out with us, Bob. Hopefully,
I have a table in my basement, so I've been trying to have a few guys over now and then, you know, and there's tables around town. It's not, for the lack of a better term, it's almost underground pool playing again, because, you know, there's no public eye like there was.
Everybody's got a 6-foot hula hoop around them so that nobody can get too close.
Nah, we actually shook hands and fist bumped the other night, so
Right.
no hugs and kisses though, so it was all okay.
Bob Steinhagen, Sterling Rock Falls Pool Leagues, thanks very much for hanging out with us here on TNT Off the Rail. We will hopefully see you again real soon. We'll get back to shooting some pool. Bob, you have a great night. Thanks a whole bunch, man.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Mm-hmm. That was Bob Steinhagen, president of the Sterling Rock Falls Men's League. And like I said, that was a week or two ago we did that interview. They have since actually, like you saw on the ticker down there, they have since actually canceled the remainder of their season, and they also made the decision to cancel their banquet. They are in the process of taking care of the league money to get it out to the players, and just keep it. If you are a player wondering, make sure you check their website or get a hold of Bob, and he'll let you know exactly what's going on with all that. I know a lot of people are, tired of hearing so much about it, and honestly, so am I. I'm almost tired of talking about it, but unfortunately, it is a part of life right now. This whole situation has us in a weird, for lack of a better term, holding pattern, trying to figure out what we're going to do. Some of us can't even go to work. Some of us are just stuck in our house. We can't even go to work as much as we, day to day used to sit around saying how much we didn't want to, and now we find ourselves stuck in our house wondering, gosh, am I going to get to go back to work? And and then some of us are still working, taking care of things. And of course, I'm going to keep coming back to this because it means a lot to us in the pool world, and not only just the pool world. I mean, in general, the venues, the small businesses, the sponsors that have helped TNT and all the other pool leagues that have sponsored your teams. And I'm going to take this a step farther too, just completely a little bit out of our world. All these small businesses that have sponsored your softball team or your baseball team, your dart team, or any of these things, all these places right now are in a unique situation that they've never found themselves in. And they are struggling right now. Some of them are really, really struggling to make sure that when this is all over, that they will be able to open the doors to welcome you back in. And that's something that we need to keep in mind. And, it's a tough time for everybody, and I know there's a lot of people that really want to help. And unfortunately, because of the situation, some of them might not be able to, because, you have to take care of yourself and your family as well. And sometimes, there's a choice has to be made whether you can help someone else or take care of you and your family. And that's understandable. No one's going to judge you on that. But there's a ton of ways to be able to help out when it comes to this stuff. Remember this, when you go to make that choice when you go to make that choice for, well, I don't feel like cooking tonight, I'm gonna order out, I'm gonna go grab something. Think about that before you think about those local places, some of these I don't have a great list right in front of me, and hopefully by the next episode I will. But think of some of these places that have been doing what they can to, like I said, keep things going for them. You got places like, I know, Froggy's and Whiskey Barrel, and then for a while I know they're on a little break, the Cooler. A lot of these local places have been offering curbside. I believe I just saw that Froggy's was doing some delivery too. There's a ton of places throughout Sterling and Rock Falls and Dixon and all around us that they're doing this. So make sure you think about that when if you're trying to find a way to help. That's how you help. Spend that money here, spend it close, spend it on those people that you turn to when you want that softball team, or that dart team, or that pool team, or sell those Girl Scout cookies to, or think about that when you go to make that call about that, hey, I'm going to grab some food or something like that. Get a hold of one of those great venues that have given you the opportunity to do something that you absolutely love, and make sure that you continue to do that even after all this, because that's when they're going to need it the most. When this finally blows over or does whatever it does, and we're able to get back to our lives, getting back to hanging out in these places that we all desperately missed. Remember that, to show them how much, this is showing us how easy it is for us to lose the things that we really appreciate, the things we kind of take for granted. You hop in the car and take off and run out on Thursday night and shoot some pool and drink some beers and drop a couple bucks on that bartender. Well, that bartender that maybe you forgot to tip once or twice is sitting at home right now trying to figure out how to take care of them and theirs. And so, keep that in mind. I'm looking for some more players and some more directors and some more operators and venue owners. I really want to talk to you. I want to share your story. I want to highlight those people. I want to, these people are the people that make things go. Without you guys, the local players, the local venues, the local operators and directors, without you, nothing goes beyond our level. There, you know what I mean? Everybody, all the pros and all the bigger things come from here. You know what I mean? This is where it comes from. Those things didn't just pop up out of nowhere. They just, those people, they had to start somewhere, and this is where it starts. So be a part of the show. Let me show people what you do. Let's share your story. Be a part of it. Get a hold of us at the TNT Facebook page. You can check out the links in our description while you click that like and subscribe button. You can give us a text at 833-868-7665. That's 833-TNT-POOL. Hit us up on the website. Just a ton of ways to get a hold of us. One more time, a big shout out to CBM Construction for helping us bring this stream to you. Get a hold of Bill at CBM today for all your new construction, remodeling, and HVAC needs. Fair and honest prices with a 20% first-time discount. Proudly serving Whiteside, Lee, Bureau, Putnam, and LaSalle counties. 815-716-6727. You see Bill's email and his Facebook page right there. You can get a hold of him, and he will hook you up and tell him TNT sent you. Got some stuff on the Facebook page. Like I said, you might have to scroll down a little more. I might even pop them up there again so you guys can see them, those questions. You can do it one or two ways. You can get a hold of me, and I can do a video chat with you right now. We can practice our social distancing, and I can get a hold of you, and we can do a little interview where you can make your own video and send it to us. Definitely, like I said, want to share the story, want to keep things going. The next episode is planned for Friday. I'm working on some stuff for you. Don't forget, you can be a part of the show. If you're watching on Facebook, just comment below and I'll check it out and I'll respond to you. Or you can jump in the YouTube chat box and say hey, or text us, even call if you want. Until next time, be safe. Keep washing them hands. Get your social distancing hula hoop out. Appreciate you watching these interviews. I really wanted to share them with you. It took me a day or two to realize that something happened and we missed them. So let me know what you think. Don't forget, tell a friend, hit that like and subscribe button, click on the bell, turn on notifications. I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.